Hey, and welcome back. Today I will be planting shallots. Now, shallots are the botanical variety of onions, and onions tend to grow individually on plants, whereas shallots grow in clusters. So, similar to garlic, where you would plant one clove of garlic, and then at the end of the growing season, you'll end up with a full bulb of garlic. Shallots grow similarly to that. They are extremely cold hardy. They grow really well in zones 2 through 10. And I've had my shallots cold stratifying in the refrigerator since September. That's not necessary. I only had it that long because I had it alongside my garlic, which was also cold stratifying, and garlic needs a longer period of cold to do well. But the shallots just stayed in there because I just didn't have the time or the space to plant them. I was in the middle of moving, but now that we are settled into our temporary location, I am now ready to go ahead and plant them. Now I am in a RV park right now. We're temporarily staying here until we purchased land, so I can't plant anything in ground. I'm limited to where I can plant things. So right now I'm only planting in containers. So I'm only going to be planting 2 shallots in a 5-gallon container right now, just to give you an idea of how limited we are on space. Check this out. Now, before I show you how I plant the shallots, I will show you how the garlic is doing. I planted garlic about 1 week ago, and my intention was to plant it on December 1st, but I just didn't have the time to do that. We were still trying to get settled into this location after selling our home. Plus, we went out to Texas to visit my son, who is serving in the Air Force. We just got back a few days ago, so it's been a little hectic over here, but now we're finally ready. What I'll be using for the soil is a mixture of potting soil with black cow compost. And since the shallots like a lot of nitrogen, I will be hitting them with a liquid fish fertilizer or fish emulsion about 3 weeks after planting, and then every 3 to 4 weeks thereafter. So check out this garlic. Now I have 6 of them in this container, and they all sprouted out of the soil. And I don't know what's up with this one. It looks like it may have been a double clove, but I could have sworn I planted single cloves. So this one may have just been doubled inside of its little skin because I planted them with the skins on. But we'll see how they grow and how they come out. Something like this happened to me the last time I grew garlic, and it was like a huge bulb with another smaller bulb attached to that huge one. So it worked out, and I'm fine. It doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to taste great, which they did. Okay, so here are the shallots that I had in the refrigerator, and some of them are still attached to each other. Looks like we have about 3 or 4 here in this little cluster. So what I'll do is I'll most likely just do 2 in this container because they need to be spaced about 6 inches apart, and I will find another container to put the other ones in. These are organic shallots. I know if you purchase regular non-organic shallots, they may be sprayed with something that doesn't allow them to sprout. So it's best to pick up some organic shallots so that you know they haven't been sprayed while they were at the grocery store or prior to arriving. Now when you plant this, you'll want to plant it, there's 2 sides to this. You have a root side here on the bottom, and then you have this little pointy end. You'll want to plant it root side down into the soil, and that's what we'll be doing today. So I'm going to most likely grab another larger one, separate these here, see which one is the largest. Okay, so these 2 are the largest ones. I'll go ahead and plant these root down. probably here and there. So what I'll do is I will make a little hole. And again, I added a little bit of black cow compost to this mix. I'm going to top it with a little bit more, but I'll just stick this right down in here. And you'll want to kind of leave this top part exposed. You don't want to bury it too deep. So kind of just leave that exposed a little bit, pat it down so that it has good contact with the soil. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Just pop it right in there and leave this little tip exposed. And it's as easy as that. So I'll just top it with a little more compost, and then I will be giving it the fish emulsion in about 3 to 4 weeks once I see green sprouts and it starts to actually grow. So what I'll do is I will water this in now. Now the soil was already a bit moist, so I'm not going to just soak this in, especially since we are going to get hit with a freeze a couple of nights in a row. I think over here it's going to get down to 20 degrees 3 nights in a row. So I am just going to lightly water this to kind of keep it a little more moist, and there you have it. It's as simple as that.